If you've been following along with this PBN Guide series, you've already found your amazing domains, you've sifted through them and pulled out the best ones of the bunch, and then you've got your hosting set up with your DNS, all looking nice and pretty. So at this point, you're probably thinking that you want to be getting some content on there so that you can get your domain indexed and ranking again as quickly as possible, so that then you can use your PBN for promoting your own websites or your partner websites, or maybe even just selling links on them. You know, there's a lot of uses for PBNs and they can be used in a lot of ways for making money. So this video is going to be primarily about getting website content online, getting it indexed. You shouldn't really need to do a lot to get it indexed if you've got a good domain and you've got the content to back it up. When we're recreating a website, one of the most important things to do is that we recreate pages that used to be online with content. So what you want to be doing is recreating the page structure of the website, so that if you were to type in a web page from its previous uses, that it would then bring up your content on that page and not go to a 404 or redirect to the home page. This is really important because we want to get our website indexed as quickly as possible and keep everything sustainable, and so that we don't have any problems in the future. Putting the content onto pages that used to exist is really useful because it will help to get you indexed right away. And if you can recreate the whole entirety of a website, Google will actually show you which are the most important web pages, because they're the ones that will get indexed first and stay indexed for a long time. So if you can recreate the whole website, get that online, Google will then show you, oh, here's a list of the pages that we think are the most important. So they're the ones that you can focus on for, you know, recreating the content into a completely new set of pages, but at the old web pages. So what are the best options for rebuilding or recovering a website? There's 4 main options. I talked about this in the last episode, so I'm not going to go over them in too much detail now. So you can hand build the website, where you basically write the code yourself. Now this is great for making a pure, unique website that is totally unique to you. There are no other websites like it, but the problem is that it's very slow. You will find problems, things will happen over the years that the websites are online. You will have to change things, and that can be really tiresome when you start to get in the tens or even hundreds of websites or more. So because upkeep is going to be your responsibility on all of these websites, it's really important to make things as simple as possible from as early as possible. So as soon as you start to see things that could be made simpler, take the easier option. So maybe hand building, probably not great for a PBN website. Another option is to use a template. You can get templates from anywhere. You can use WordPress themes. Now these can be good. I think I was a bit harsh on them in the last video and said you should never really use them. They can be good, but the problem is that you're having to put in a lot of manual work to make them unique. So the whole point of building a sustainable PBN is that you diversify everything. Everything's unique, so that each one of your websites has no links back to any other website or group or any such thing. With the template, it's great for getting a look. You know, you can see what the template's going to look like. You can put it online, and then you've got a nice looking website. The problem is there's probably 100 or maybe even a few thousand people that have done exactly that. They've taken the template, put it online, forgotten about it, and it's still there online, and Google is well aware of it. It will never get your web page or your domain re-indexed. What you will need to do is manually go and create those pages that existed before. You'll have to do a lot of work to make it unique and current and relevant. So it can be good for a money site again, but for a PBN site, there's a lot of work involved in making a template site look unique and actually contain the content. So you can recover the old website with DomRecovery. This is fast, it's easy to do. It uses the previous content that ranked well previously, so that's a good thing. It's probably unique content unless somebody's used it in taking it directly from the website. That's fairly rare. The issues that you have with it, and there are a couple, they can be hard to extend because every website that you're going to recover is going to be different. The structure is going to be different. So the process for updating and adding content to that website is going to be very different. Now that can be fine if what you're going to sell is niche edits, whereby you're offering links in existing content, which some SEOs really like. But if you're wanting to add content to it and have that content sit alongside your sidebars, things like that, it can be hard to extend that. So there's the potential copyright issue. You don't own the content. You may find that the original content copyright owners will come and get in touch with you and tell you to stop using the content, at which point I would strongly advise you to do that. Just, it's not yours, stop using it. Replace the content. They don't have any right over the website structure, so the page addresses and things like that, unless they contain a trademark term. They have no right to tell you to change the structure. So you can just use it for getting re-indexed and then recreate the pages entirely. Next option is 2025. Hey, let's use AI. I mean, it's 2025 for another few days, but I imagine in 2026, AI is still going to be a very useful tool. I don't think I need to explain to anyone how useful AI can be. I've got a great example of just how powerful AI can be in this very video, so carry on watching that. Another option, the last one, is Freelancer, and I'm sorry to any freelancers out there, I don't really like this idea for a PBN. Freelancers can be good when you've got a bit more time and some money to throw at it. The issues I've always had is explaining the specifications for a job that I have. I don't think I'm very good at explaining things very clearly. At least I assume that's the reason. It can't be everybody else, it's probably me. So I've never had a great time getting the results I wanted first time, so I have to send them back, and a couple of times I've ended up just not being happy with it and having to build it myself. Luckily that was a long time ago and we have things like AI now, so I just use that. But I'm sure there are some really good freelancers out there. You can use some platforms, but for a PBN site you want to be, you know, getting your domains turned around really quickly, get them indexed. The tool I use to recover a website is DomRecovery. Now it isn't super quick, it can take some time, but what it will do is pull every page from the Wayback Machine. It will pull every page, every piece of media, your backgrounds, your images, things like that, everything that's linked and existing on the Internet Archive's Wayback Machine. It will pull it and it will put it into a folder on your computer. From there you can do with it as you please. Now let's look at how we use the tool. If you're in Domain Hunter Gatherer, you can get to the Wayback Machine by right-clicking on the domain you're interested in and choosing More Stats, and then on the Wayback Machine. You can also obviously just visit archive.org and then search for the website yourself. From here, you'll want to find a fairly complete snapshot for the website. Now, I know the most complete ones for this website are on this sort of time, so I'm going to choose one of those. I'm going to copy the address of the home page of the website on the Wayback Machine, and I'm going to load up DomRecovery. Go to recreate a single snapshot and enter the snapshot you copied into the input here. Click through the options and copy what I do if you've got no idea or just don't care. And there we go. DomRecovery is now pulling all of the pages and pieces of content that it can from the Wayback Machine. Just leave it till it's finished, and depending on the size of the site, this could be a couple of minutes to an hour or even days. In the case of large sites, the Wayback Machine is huge, but it is also fairly slow. Avoid being tempted to bump the crawl threads up too high, as the Wayback Machine is a really important resource and it shouldn't really be abused. Once DomRecovery has finished downloading all of the pages of your site, it will look something like this. The website I was recovering was way bigger than I expected, and this actually did take a couple of days. I may have accidentally put the computer to sleep a few times by reflex, which will have slowed it down a bit. So it may have completed quicker had I not been a bit of a doofus. From here, we're going to go to the folder that it recovered the website to, and we're going to use our favorite FTP client. Mine is FileZilla. And then I'm going to upload the files to the web host. Yep, done. Unique website, all live and kicking. Now the process did take a couple of days. When I did this for the domain, it was re-indexed 2 days later, and you'd be hard pushed to recreate that kind of success with any new domain, even with a lot of SEO work behind it. In this case, I did zero. I uploaded the website, nothing else. That was it. Don't forget, we're only using this content as a placeholder though to get re-indexed. Unless you can get permission to use the content, it should be switched out shortly after. Another domain that I found during the course of making this PBN guide series was links2rss.com. Now this was a website that I'd used in the past. It was quite a simple service. You'd paste pages onto the website, and then it would create an RSS feed that you could then ping to the search engines, and this would get them indexed really quickly. It would get your backlinks indexed. So when you were running SEO campaigns and you were trying to get your backlinks indexed, you could create another tier of backlinks, ping those, put them into the RSS feed, ping those, and then get them indexed, get your backlinks indexed. Anyway, it's not something that we tend to do a great deal these days. And it just sparked a memory for me, and then I had ideas happening, so I snatched it. Luckily for me, the content on it was fairly clean. It had been used as somebody's blog for a year, and they'd obviously registered it, created a blog, put no content on it, got rid of it. But it hadn't received any backlinks in that time. It hadn't had any work. So it was a really clean domain. So I thought, I'm going to grab it. And then I thought, I'm not going to get the time to put a project together to create a real good product for this website. Not for a while anyway. Not while I'm making these videos, to be honest. So I thought, well, I'll see what AI can do. And this would be the first time that I gave AI a few prompts, said, just create the whole thing. I don't care, just do it. And then uploaded it, and it one-shotted the whole thing. I mean, look at it. I mean, she's no looker. I know it's as basic as, but the full functionality of the website is there. It does work. You can put in a bunch of web pages and it will create an RSS feed, and then you can ping them, or it works. It's a simple service. It's an even more simple website, but GPT one-shotted it. It's online, and funnily enough, some of the other AIs that I used didn't one-shot it. Gemini was pretty good. Grok was pretty good. Some of the coding-based ones weren't great. But anyway, if an AI creates something that you don't like, you can just say, don't like that, do it a different way, and it'll do it without complaining. So here's how I did it with the actual prompts that I used. I said, are you aware of the old service that was links2rss.com from years ago? What do you know about it, and what were its main talking points? GPT replies, of course I know everything, puny human. And then I said, I would like to recreate something that looks and feels just like the old version of links2RSS. Could you create a system that would be capable of recreating the functionality of the original website? The HTML of the homepage of the original design is below, as per the Wayback Machine. And then I viewed the source of the homepage, copied it, and pasted it in here. And GPT replies, I have created everything. And you can see here, it has indeed created the homepage and a convert script that recreates the full functionality of the original website. I was surprised it was this painless, to be perfectly honest. I've used AI quite a lot, as most of us have by this point. But yeah, that really was... There was a couple of prompts and it created it, and I put it online. And then after that, I prompted it to create the OG cards and some things that weren't around back then. And it did it. It was literally within 5 minutes, I was done. I had the website online. So for this, I was using GPT 5.1 thinking. It even gave me clear instructions on how to do certain things with my domain and web host that needed to be done before the service would work properly. So it is simple, but there is some back-end work going on. It's not super complicated. So I've had paid scripts that come with worse documentation than this. So the good thing with this as well is that the AI now knows what you want of the website. It knows how it's made, the code that's gone into it. So if you want to extend the functionality of the website or the content, add more pages, things of this nature, you can just go to the AI and say, oi, GPT, bang me together a couple of pages, stick them on the website, and it'll go, all right, mate, here you go. And it will give you it, and then you stick it online and it's all working. It's amazing. I mean, I grew up in the 80s. This AI stuff, it's like Back to the Future. How to hire a good web designer. Sorry to say it, mate, I don't know. I'm sorry to all the great web designers and programmers out there. I know there are a lot. I know they are. I've met some of you and I've worked with you, luckily, but the majority of the time I find it's just a bit of a crapshoot. You know, I've paid good designers and had unfavorable end results, and I've had bad designers and had surprisingly really good results. It's hard to know who you're going to get the best results out of, to be perfectly honest. I find the relationship with the designer can make a big difference. If you know the person and they know what you want, that can make it a lot easier for them to deliver what it is that you want. So now for the conclusion, there we have it. We have the options for recreating your website on your shiny PBN domains. So whatever option you choose, always be on the lookout for ways to simplify your process. You want to be able to get a website up and online in as quick a time as possible. So you want to be minimizing the amount of time that it takes you to recreate the web page, the time it takes to get it uploaded, the time it takes to get indexed, find the domains, every single step. Look for ways that you're repeating yourself and ways to take that repetition out, automate it. You can pay someone, get an AI to do it. You'll find things, you know, I've covered a lot of points in this series and there's a lot more to go, but I guarantee you there'll be a lot of things that you find for yourself that work better for you. I'm just giving you my workflow and how I create these things. If you haven't already, I'd really appreciate a sub. I hate being a YouTuber. It's not in my nature at all. So if you haven't already, I'd really appreciate a sub. I know it's the YouTube thing and it's so, but you know, the next episode, I'm going to be showing you how to handle linking from your PBN websites to your money sites, or to your paying customers that might be buying links from you. I'm going to be going through what to do and what not to do, because you really wouldn't want to mess it up at the last hurdle. You've gone through all of this effort to find the domains, you found some great domains, and then you've put the money up for them, you've set up the DNS, you've set up the hosting, that's all squeaky clean, no footprints there. You've got your lovely, unique website that's all fresh and new, and then you're going to fudge it all up by interlinking in your PBNs and doing all this crazy stuff. No, don't. Watch the next video, it's coming soon, and we'll look into what the do's and don'ts are for that. So stay tuned, all that other good stuff. Until we meet again, bye.